So I want to go back in time and revisit a moment in anime history that was very fascinating. That is when a pair of thighs became a whole anime's identity for its like whole season that it was airing. And that is the anime SS GRIDMAN. Now this anime came out in fall of 2018. And a certain character named Rika was in this anime, and as soon as she appeared on this screen, out of nowhere, countless memes, videos, all these other things were just made, fan art were just made about this character because of like her thighs, because in the anime she basically just wears a jacket and then you just see straight up legs and shoes, so like everybody was losing their goddamn mind. Trust me, there's countless memes, like trust me, there's so many goddamn memes about her thighs, it was ridiculous. Of course, fan art, there's still videos till this day that are still up on YouTube that are from the same time like this anime was airing. It's like it's almost been 5 years, but it's not exactly, because like 5 years would be in October of this year. But yeah, there's still videos from this time literally talking about her thighs, and it's fascinating because this was one of the strangest things in my opinion, just like how fast it took over, because we know how down bad the anime community is and how horny they can be at times, but the way this just took over just like what was actually happening when it comes to this anime, especially in the season that it was airing. Because if y'all don't remember, I will refresh y'all memory about what was all coming out in fall of 2018. In fall of 2018 we had season 1 of Reincarnated as a Slime, we had Fairy Tail, the final season finally started, we had Goblin Slayer, Zombieland Saga, Bunny Girl Senpai came out, Sword Art Online Alicization season 1, and then we had Tokyo Ghoul final chapter. Yeah, Tokyo Ghoul was finally getting packed up. We had JoJo Golden Wind, we had Index season 3, Golden Kamuy season 2. So the season was packed with a lot of stuff, and I'm pretty sure like Blooming to You came out. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff coming out that season, but I just remember this one just standing out because of like everybody was commenting about the thighs of the character, even though this anime was actually really good if you actually watched it and were not just being down bad. And this anime had a lot of hype to it because one, it was made by Trigger, and also this is technically like a kind of spiritual successor slash, like, I guess you say anime adaptation of like the show that came out in the 90s, and that is GRIDMAN, the Hyper Agent. And like, because it's made by the same company that made the original, but you just have Trigger being the studio that's animating it. But I mean, it's not exactly the same as that show, most definitely not, but still, it's just like kind of just in that genre, it fits in that field or whatever. But yeah, so you had stuff around there that people would be hype about, and of course we have kaiju in here, and we have a giant robot and like kaiju battles, and you know, people love stuff like that. I mean, it was just like, that was like one of the things I was fascinated about. It was just like, as soon as people saw her on the screen, they would always comment about her thighs. There was so much fan art. I remember this around the time, like all I would ever see is just people talking about the fan art. And the funny thing is, I literally found a Reddit post that's literally from like back then. That was literally a subreddit of like this anime, because you know, like whenever a new anime is airing, there's always a subreddit and they have stuff in there. And like really one of the questions is asking, is Rika really thick or something like that? I'm just like, dog, what is this ridiculous mess? It's just funny just seeing some of the things from back then and just seeing how different it is now compared to other things, because I swear there was so much fan art of Rika, and then like the other girl was Akane. She was the one that was like making the kaiju and all that, and people were also saying stuff about her because I think there was like a feet thing with her or other things. But yeah, they were just commenting a lot about these children. Yeah, these children, if you actually think about it. You know what the crazy thing is? The actual like series, like the next series that came after that was in the same universe, and that is I think it was like Dino Zero, whatever that one was. Just know that one actually had a grown woman that literally basically had the same like type of aesthetic as Rika, where she was wearing like something up top that was long but then had a whole bunch of legs showing. And it's like, I did not see the same hypeness that people had for the child when there's actually an adult that's literally just like her. So I mean, I don't know, I just know that was just kind of interesting. I just remember that, like, I was like, oh, we're gonna get some with Dino Zero, and it was like, nope, everybody just focused on it. Nobody really paid attention to Dino Zero like that, because it did not have the same hype that GRIDMAN had, which was very surprising, because I thought people would be on it, because like GRIDMAN, like as it was airing, people really liked it, they respected, they were saying it was one of the like the hidden gems of that season that was really enjoyable. Of course, I mean, because like of course it was still by Trigger, so of course it's going to be popular-ish, because Trigger is a studio everybody always looks for whenever they have something in the works that is being animated or whatever. But yeah, but still, it just, the other one didn't have the same hit that this one had. GRIDMAN just took over when it came out. I mean, it was one of the more popular anime that came out that season, even though, as I told you earlier, the season was already packed with a lot of other bangers and more popular anime, but it was still one of the most popular newer anime from that season that came out. And it was just getting taken over by a pair of thighs. I just remember seeing the countless memes and everybody just talking about this. And that was like the main thing about this. It was just like everybody was talking about her thighs, and you really, I mean, you saw people, of course, talking about the anime that actually like analyzed the anime, but most people were being, you know, down bad and talking about her thighs because I mean, that was just the thing to do, and like Twitter was full of it. Because I just remember back then seeing all these different fan arts of like GRIDMAN, and just seeing like all of Rika and everything from like GRIDMAN, just seeing of like Akane and them. And then of course like I did see other anime around that time, because you know Bunny Girl Senpai came out, Zombieland Saga. You're going to get fan art from like all these different things, but it was just like, I just remember this one just standing out because it was just like, yo, Rika's thighs, they save lives, basically, type of thing. Be like, you're saying, oh, I only watched SS GRIDMAN for like Rika's thighs. But yeah, just let me know, do y'all remember this? Because I was literally looking up stuff up, and it was just kind of funny. And like the funny thing is like, even when you look on websites now, like when they're selling figures, this, I literally saw one that said, oh, look at Rika with her thick thighs in this new figure. And I'm just like, dog, even their websites are saying this shit too, and it's kind of funny. But yeah, just let me know, do y'all remember this around this time? Because if you're watching this as this was airing in fall of 2018, everybody was just talking about the thighs, and it was just kind of funny. It was like one of the funniest things I saw. Like, it had me rolling. That's one of the things that you go back to history and you just look stuff that's like years ago. I mean, because like it's almost been 5 years, and you just see how vastly different it is now, because you don't see the people just like, because like now you really don't see people being super down bad for one character, like for thighs. Like you'll see somebody be super down bad, but like not the way that the storm that it was when it came to GRIDMAN, because when it came to GRIDMAN, everybody named Mama was just talking about her thighs. But I haven't really seen an anime that had that same effect nowadays, which is fascinating. Maybe it's just because of the different quote-unquote climax, I guess you say climate, that we're in when it comes to anime and all that, but still, I don't know. I just remember that back then, and that was kind of funny back in 2018. I just thought that was hilarious when people would just say stuff about that, though. But yeah, if you've seen SS GRIDMAN, let me know how you felt about the anime. If you've seen it, if you were watching it in 2018, let me know how you still feel about it, or if you've watched it recently in the past few years and you wasn't watching while it was airing, just let me know how you felt about it, because I thought it was a pretty dope series. It had a lot of mystery to it, especially when it came to like the kaiju being made, and even the world that they were in. And like Dino Zero kind of just answered some of them like mysteries that we had, and like even some of the characters they introduced later on were fascinating. But yeah, I thought it was a really dope series. I just know it did get overshadowed by Rika's thighs, sadly, because that's what any and everybody was talking about, sadly. Even though, I mean, people of course that watched the anime, they knew how good it was. But I mean, when it came to the anime, you mainly were just watching for the giant robot and then giant kaiju fighting, and then you had thighs here, and then you had Akane there, and like the guys were like whatever. And then you did have some interesting things with some of the other characters that were introduced that like connected to when it came to GRIDMAN, that he had some of like his weapons and all that are actually like characters that can turn into them big weapons and all that. I don't know, I just thought it had a lot of cool moments though. But yeah, let me know, do y'all remember this or not? Just let me know in the comments, because I'm curious who else remembers this, because I can't be the only one that remembers this when there's like so much other like content still on the internet from back then. But I just thought it was very funny when this happened though. And it's just funny that it's like, dog, when you had like this technically, I guess you'll say, sequel-ish series, it's like y'all weren't hyping up the grown woman that had her thighs out, but of course y'all want to hype up a child. I said, this is how y'all always is in the anime community. Just saying, you know, that's how they are sometimes. It's weird, but I'm just saying they should have been hyping up the grown woman when it came to the sequel series, but I did not see nobody hyping her up like that. There were maybe people in their fandom were, and I just didn't look far enough for that. Probably people in the GRIDMAN fandom were probably hyping her up, as they should have, because she was actually a grown-ass woman, though. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, why not like? If you didn't, you could dislike, subscribe if you really enjoyed. But yeah, SS GRIDMAN will always be remembered to me as basically the anime where people just talked about the thighs more than the anime, and like it was crazy because they were talking about it way too damn much, though. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you next video. Bye.